Hello and welcome to a 7 Days to Die weapon tier list. We are only going to be doing the ranged weapons today, because it would be ages if we did all the melee weapons as well. I have been doing a bunch of thinking about all of these after I saw a video that I disagreed with the tier list immensely, and I would like to share my own one today. I think that would be fun. Let me know down in the comments if you agree or disagree, and yeah, let's get started. So first of all, I'm going to start with the worst gun in the game. The pipe rifle. Now, before I receive any angry comments, let's operate in defense of the worst gun in the game. It's not that bad. You can use it. A couple of things to consider is that I am talking about insane difficulty, which means that even with high sneak damage multipliers and a level 6 one of these, chances are you're not one-shotting even the weakest zombies in the game with this. Maybe Arlene's, if you have a good amount of perception points and stuff with a headshot, you actually can. But even still, I think every other gun, it has similar potential to that, and this is just the worst. The next worst is going to be the pipe shotgun for the exact same reasons, but I will give it the advantage of having the stun. The 4-second stun on shotguns means that zombies will go into a slower run speed if you use that. So if you're playing on nightmare speed, shotguns have a definite advantage of slowing zombies down, allowing you to hit them easier and run away if you need to. So we will put the pipe shotgun ahead of the pipe rifle, but not by much more. Next we have the pipe pistol. Here's the thing about the pipe pistol. Where is it? It goes here. It has just barely the damage you need at level 1 with no perks to be able to kill a zombie with one entire magazine of it. These two just can't do that, so this gets the win just by being able to do that to like 90% of the non-feral and radiated zombies. It will save you. These two you will be reloading for 5-10 seconds or whatever it is, waiting to be able to shoot again. This one, you hit all your shots, you will kill them, and if you miss, it's a more favorable reload. And we come to the pipe machine gun. This is obviously the best of the pipe guns. It has a 15-round magazine, which can be increased to 60. If you have a drum magazine, that's really good. The fire rate is better than these. The reload speed is comparable to this, but the damage is also really, really high compared to this, because you have to account that this uses a 9mm bullet, this uses a 7.62. Big damage, small damage, much higher fire rate, much higher magazine capacity. There's no real reason to choose this or this over this, so it gets a C. I'm not sure where I'm going to put it compared to the others, but that's where it's starting. Primitive bow, it's a solid weapon. It's not very good on high difficulties because it's not really going to one-shot anything, but at least the ammo's cheap and the reload speed is pretty damn fast, so you can pelt anything with it. If you get stuck up a tree fighting a mountain lion, the primitive bow has saved you in that situation in the past. Don't lie to me, I know it has. It saved me, it saved you. It deserves to at least be above the pipes, but not these pipes. Then we come to the hunting rifle, which I'm going to put firmly, it's an upgraded pipe. More damage, better range, more accuracy. Still suffers from the problem that it's probably not one-shotting anything until a little bit later on into the game on high difficulties, at which point you will have better guns available. And if it's not gonna one-shot, then the fact that it has a 1-round magazine is just gonna drag it down. I'm honestly torn between like this. I don't want anybody to think that I'm putting these here because they're useless. Just compared to all the other guns, they're gonna be quite shit. If we then move up to the handgun, we have probably a little bit of a hot take here. Hot take alert. I think it's better than the pipe machine gun. They actually have compatible damage. This has 15 rounds, this has 15 rounds, this can be increased to 30, this can be increased to 22, and it's got better accuracy and it's just more usable and it reloads faster. If you asked me which one I would prefer, I would pick this, especially for the cheaper ammo. I think this gets at least above the pipe machine gun, and it's a solid, starter weapon. If you can get one on like day one, you're always just like, hell yeah, in a purse or a toilet or something. Which I think brings us probably to the wooden bow, which I would just put here. It's better than that bow, better than this, not as good as these. Do I really need to say more? It's solid, just not that good compared to other things. Double barrel shotgun. I think, here's the thing, I really like the double barrel shotgun and I employ it very successfully, and the stun definitely earns it a slot. I think I would put it like here. If you asked me which of these I wanted, this would be the order I would pick them in. I think more objectively it's probably that, like the DPS differences and stuff, but that stun is really, really useful. And it also has some of the highest instant kill potential of any of these weapons, because you get 2 big ass shotgun shells that do shitloads of damage, and you can fire them out pretty much as fast as you click, and you can really, really delete things. I just don't know if I would put it above something with a 15 round mag. That could be a 30 round mag, and this is stuck at 2. I think it has to stay here for now. The iron crossbow is kind of just like better than that, but I would still prefer the double barrel shotgun. I prefer crossbows, they do more damage, but they are louder and they're slower to reload. I find that that's fine for my stealth builds. If I'm doing a stealth build who's using archery, I'm going to pick this for most of my purposes, if I can get one. So I think that brings us to the AK, which I'm going to put like in A tier. A tier. This can have a 60 round magazine, it has a faster fire rate than all of these, has higher damage than most of these, not the crossbow obviously and the shotgun. It has comparable damage to the hunting rifle, and it has 30 rounds and it has fast fire rate. There's really no downside to it, it's just a solid all around gun that you would always be happy to have on you. The only downside I can think of it is 7.62 is kind of expensive, but I don't think it's that much of a big deal. AK goes here. As for other abilities like the skill books and perks, I am considering those, and I am accounting for them. I am very, very familiar with them. I do have 4,000 hours in this game, so I'm not talking completely out of my ass. I do know that the commando effect for this is exceptional, and the effects you get from the automatic weapons handbook are absolutely insane as well. The weapon effects you get from Gunslinger and Pistol Pete are a bit more meh. The effects you get from shotguns, actually quite good. Let's go to the next tier, and this was the weapon that inspired me to make this list. I saw someone on their tier list. They basically did this, right? It was like D tier Magnum and like B tier lever action rifle. If we look at those in the game really quickly. Magnum, 80 damage, 6 shots, 100 lever action, 95 damage. This is a high rolled lever action. This is a low rolled Magnum. They're the same gun. Like, it's a bit faster fire rate, more mag cap, slightly lower damage. It's the same. All right, he's got 223, 1 shot to the chest. That did 40 damage. Lever action rifle. That did... Oh, I didn't mean to double click there. That did 47 damage. So the rifle is actually slightly higher, but it's not significant. Yeah, very comparable reload speeds. They're basically the same weapon. The Magnum has slightly lower damage, but it has an extra shot. All that to illustrate that these guns are basically the same, and I'm just going to go with like this as my final one. They could be interchanged perfectly fine. I would prefer the Magnum because it's a bit more usable in like close quarters. The difference is minimal, and I got so annoyed that I saw somebody do something like this, and I was like, those are the same gun. The difference is genuinely 1 shot and a bit of fire rate. That, I think, brings us to the pump action, and I think it goes without saying that that's definitely going to be above this slot in a tier. I think it's below the AK. The stun is really good, and you get a lot of damage per tube of this, but you're competing with a potential 60 round magazine here with like 350 fire rate with like 11, 12 maximum capacity. The potential damage per second and the potential damage per reload just really does go to the AK. The stun is really, really nice on this shotgun as a base. But if we're talking fully upgraded shotguns versus fully upgraded AKs, I'm taking the AK. But that stun is really, really nice on Nightmare in particular. In fact, if this was Nightmare specifically, then maybe the shotguns sort of do a bit like this. Next, tactical assault rifles. Here's the squeeze on the tactical assault rifle. It's just a better AK. If we take a look at it in game, here's your reload time on your AK. Here's your reload time on this. Pretty similar. Here's your hip fire accuracy. Here's your hip fire accuracy. Identical. Here's your ADS time. Slightly slower on this. If you look at the numbers, 50 damage on the AK, 30 round magazine. 66 damage on this 30 round magazine. 45 faster fire rate, but do remember that this is a burst shot by default, which means it does that if you hold the trigger down. If, however, you click it, you can fire a lot faster, and if you get yourself a full auto mod, this becomes a normal assault rifle, up to 450 fire rate, and becomes very, very easy to use. So while it does need a little bit of assistance to be as good as the AK, once you do have that assistance, it just blows out of the water on every single statistic available. So on to tier 3 then, I suppose. Let's start with a sniper rifle. I'm just going to tentatively place it in between these and take a look. it's really where the rifles start to be worth a damn. You can equip a magazine extender, get yourself up to 18 shots. 130 damage per shot takes it to like above the Desert Vulture for sure, above the Magnum, above the lever action by quite a bit. Sniper rifle, you're looking at about 315 damage per second, not accounting for reload times and magazine capacity. For the automatic version, and that's accounting for a sniper rifle with a magazine extender. For the automatic version of the tactical assault rifle, which I think is the most fair comparison, you get something closer to 500 damage per second. However, there is something to consider. If we grab both of these with AP762, the damage per shot on the sniper rifle goes up to 150 almost, and you should consider as well that you can use the penetrator perk in the perception tree. In a specific situation where you're on a horde night and you're penetrating 3 additional targets, sorry, that means you can hit 5 enemies in one shot, which means that your DPS is essentially multiplied by 5 when using this weapon, specifically on like thin horde night builds. In that situation, you get DPS in the thousands, which does make this an incredibly good horde night weapon. If we take the updated damage, because it's only fair to compare armor piercing to armor piercing, the sniper rifle does like triple almost the DPS of the tactical assault rifle. However, there is still to consider the magazine capacity, which I haven't accounted for in my calculation there. That is definitely going to slow you down on both of these. The ideal damage per second on this is much higher. Most of the time though, the tactical assault rifle is just going to have higher fire rate, and only a small percentage of your game is actually going to be spent on horde night, so I think I have to give the edge ever so slightly to the tactical assault rifle. On horde night specifically, yeah, throw this bad boy and it's like up here, right? But not on horde night, it's down here. We come to the Desert Vulture next, and honestly, hot take, it's like here or here. It's like everybody's favorite gun. It's the highest level pistol in the game. But what do you really get for it? Well, you get 120 damage per shot, which is less than the sniper rifle. 121 with the magazine extender compared to the sniper rifle's 130 with a magazine extender. The sniper rifle has the higher magazine and it has the higher RPM, right? Higher range. It is inferior in almost every way to the sniper rifle, and it doesn't even have the benefit of being better on horde night. It can only hit a couple of shots. Something I just remembered I didn't account for on the tactical assault rifle is that it actually had twice as much DPS as I just said, because if you're using armor piercing rounds, you can also hit 2 targets with an AP762. See that? Target penetration, that means you can hit 2 people with it, which means that the DPS was more like 1,000, and then the DPS on this was like 1,700, so it's closer to the tactical assault rifle now as well. However, Desert Vulture doesn't really have much of a benefit. Yes, you can get extra target penetration from Magnum Enforcer. No, it doesn't really contribute much more DPS. And I wouldn't say it has any significant advantages in like utility. Gunslinger and Pistol Pete and Magnum Enforcer don't really do much for it. It's just kind of meh. I would pick this over it. I would pick this over it. Oh, I would pick all of these over it. It's just a worse sniper rifle or a better Magnum, if you like. Now we come to the SMG, and I'm going to save you a lot of pain. Once you do all the calculations, the SMG has slightly less, and I mean slightly less DPS than the tactical assault rifle. So if it's just worse, it's just going to go here. You might put it here because it's got cheaper ammo and the stacks are bigger, but DPS wise, yeah, this tactical assault rifle modded the same way, just barely beats it. It's like 5 DPS difference, so use them interchangeably if you'd like. Better range on this one though. Auto shotgun, I think it's fair to maybe put that here. I don't think it deserves an S slot. It does like 250 damage a shot, which is great, and it has a 32 round potential magazine if you put a drum on it. It's still a shotgun and it is less versatile than the automatic weapons, but the stun's really good. I think just for the sheer destructive potential, I'll give it an S, but it'll probably be a low S compared to anything else I put in there. I don't know. It's definitely a bit better than the tactical assault rifle, although the tactical assault rifle is more versatile. And certainly if we were playing in a game right now which had bandits with guns, this would probably be swapped, because this would have the versatility of being able to take on bandits at range and stuff where the shotgun just wouldn't be able to. As a game that's almost exclusively close quarters, it's going here. I should also clarify, like 10 minutes into this video by the way, this is not accounting for PvP. If you want the answer to PvP, it's whatever the fuck you can get that has armor piercing ammo. That's what you want. Anything, it doesn't matter. You only need so much damage to kill an enemy And if you can get armor piercing on it, it's going to be really good. That would probably put the sniper rifle like up here for PvP, because you can get 100% armor penetration with that. If you get penetrator, I think. But in regular gameplay, nah, it's down here. For PvP, this and the shotgun goes way down, but otherwise, yeah, that's pretty much PvE. M60, I think honestly the M60 just deserves its own tier. The M60, that's the tier. The M60 has a potential magazine capacity of 120. It has a faster fire rate than all but 2 of the guns in the game, which are the SMG and the tactical assault rifle, although the tactical assault rifle is only faster if you put a mod on it. This one can't accept that mod, so meh, it does more damage than most guns. It does 90 damage, which is comparable to the lever action, which has a 5-round magazine. Like, this is like you strap 20 lever action rifles together. It's not a competition. This thing is unreal. And if we now address machine gunner, which I've been alluding to this video, commando, the ability to get 6 stamina per shot, that means you can run forever. This gun means you can do Horde Night on foot, no problems. You combine commando with a run-in gun so that you have no reloading penalty. You put hip fire accuracy on that fucker. You don't even have to aim. Run around on Horde Night. You don't even need to jump. You'll outrun the zombies. And if we take a look at automatic weapons handbook as well, this is fucked up. The more damage per hit and the increased accuracy if you keep firing in full auto is actually fucked up as well. And the ragdolling, my god, if you haven't seen the ragdolling in action, it's insane. See how they all just fall over? And that's with armor piercing rounds, so we're able to hit like multiple of them. Absolute crowd control specialists. Truly the riot control weapon of the century. Now obviously, oh, I feel dizzy. You're obviously not going to have them sitting still like that, but the ragdoll is insane. And if you can get armor piercing ammo for this, to be able to ragdoll like 2 enemies with it, it's just crazy. It's like a sledgehammer firing weapon. So for that reason, it gets its own tier. It's just the only downside is the ammo costs, really. And I suppose the heat generation, you're not even going to notice it with the M60 though, because you'll just mow down all the screamer hordes as well. Crossbow, I think that actually deserves just barely maybe the highest slot in A or the lowest slot in S. Here's the thing about it, it can one-shot a lot of radiated zombies if you give it like steel bolts and get all the perks and the sneak damage effects. But that's not too helpful on Horde Night. But if you load this up with explosive crossbow bolts, it's actually really underrated as like a means of handling the Horde. So I think it deserves the lowest S. Like the 2 S's we have, I'm like, they barely scrape an S. And I think for the bow, I would maybe put that just there. It does less damage, it's quieter, it's the same story as these two, I just think the difference between them is even greater. This is still a solid weapon. This is just more specialized for sneak, because it does more damage than this, meaning on high difficulties like Insane, you're going to want this to do sneak attacks, but it is louder, so you have to play a little bit smarter. We get the rocket launcher. Again, I feel like this is just a really low rent S tier, because it does so much damage, but it's single shot and it's really, really expensive. But what other gun on this list can you fire and get 30,000 XP with? Not a single one of them, not with one shot. So I think for that alone, it gets an S tier, but like barely an S tier again. This is obviously more practical, but this is the clutch play, right? And then for automatic turrets. Here's the thing about automatic turrets. I'm going to put them in E tier. That's not where they're staying, don't worry. It's just I'm dragging it up so I can find it again. We take a look at those, and we grab the intellect perks that are associated with them. This has a magazine capacity of 94, and you can double that up to almost 200. You can place it on the ground and it does 20 damage. They're not incredibly high DPS on their own. You combine 2 of those and alongside your main gun, and this will shred unbelievably. They are quite underrated. You do need to have a very high investment in intellect, which isn't really worth it half the time. They're not really a main weapon, so I'm not going to give them like S tier. I would probably put them above here. Maybe here? No, I think the AK is just more versatile. Yeah, the sheer DPS potential of this, I think it gets a middle of A tier. The A tier is quite stacked, but it's stacked mostly with endgame guns, as you would expect. And let's just do like a lightning bonus round here. Pipe bombs, A tier. Probably better than these. Honestly, pipe bombs are like high A tier. They're so cheap, you can just spam them on every horde night and they're good. Grenades, despite being better than pipe bombs, they're too expensive to be worthwhile, so I'm going to give them like a low B tier. Contact nades, they're M60 tier. Throw them at your feet when you're surrounded by zombies, you'll survive, they won't. Simple as that. Molotovs, I've never been a Molotov guy. They kind of just fuck me over constantly, honestly. D tier. Time charges, E tier. As a weapon, E tier. You can throw one at a zombie and it will kill it, but why are you doing that? Dynamite, E tier. You'll blow up your surroundings, you'll blow up your base. They do a lot of damage, but it's mostly for destroying blocks. These are all melee weapons and we'll consider that for another time. You know what, let's do that. Let's do that. Let's be fair, it's a pipe and a bomb. It shouldn't be better than these guns. This, however, yeah, pipe contact grenades, give me millions of those, I'll take them. And it won't be so destructive as to kill you like the rocket launcher would. Let me know your thoughts, let me know if you agree or disagree. I'm mostly objectively correct here though, you can't argue with me, nope. And for the sarcastically challenged, that is called a joke. Please go back to Reddit. If you want to see me do the melee weapons, let me know and I'll see if I can slide that content in at some point. And if you enjoyed this, why not check out this video coming up right now?